All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, we'd like to welcome you to the Third Shift Show. This is your host of the evening, DJJustJayOK with Just Dimes ENT. I'm here to talk to you guys about this crazy ass story that is on my screen right now. The woman's name is Kristie Nesby. As you guys can tell from the title, you may or may not be able to tell what actually happened, but it is very, very crazy what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys what this crazy broad has done, what she has been convicted of, and how much time she got. Let me be disrespectful for a moment, and hopefully YouTube won't flaggy me for what I gotta say. Let me back this thing up. Let me back this up real quick. Let's go back for a moment. This is what I want to know. Look at this face. Look at this face right here. I want you guys to tell me if you saw this person or this thing in real life. Would you think that was a real person? Like, would you think that this is a man or a woman? What do you guys think? If y'all saw this face right here, would y'all think that was a man or a woman? I'm just asking a question. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything like that. I'm asking a real live question. Because I think that's another thing that we have going on in our community is the fact that we have so much testosterone flowing through our women and not enough going through our men and not enough support going through our men. And so now those lines are starting to be blurred. And now you're starting to see that we're having a whole lot of problems in the black community, a whole lot of them. So let's talk about this problem. So there's a woman, and her name again, well, they classify her as a woman. Kristie, Kristie, Renee, R-N-E-E, Nesby, N-E-S-B-Y. You can look her up. She is in the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. In that mugshot, she will spend the next 20 years in prison and 35 years on probation. Let me say that again. Woo! 20 years in prison, 35 on probation thereafter for hitting and killing a 71-year-old woman. And I'm going to give you guys her name here in just a little bit. Okay? A 71-year-old woman. But the crazy thing is, it's going to be how all of this came about. So that's going to be the story that we're going to tell. So here we go. She ended up hitting and killing, like a hit and run, a 71-year-old woman and crashing into numerous vehicles and carjacking other vehicles in 2016. So she's just now getting her sentence. So it took about 2 years for this to all culminate. Kristie Renee Nesby last Wednesday entered a plea of guilty, but mentally ill to 10 charges, including homicide by vehicle, armed robbery, hijacking a motor vehicle, hit and run, aggravated assault, and possessing a firearm during commission of a felony. Cobb County District Attorney spokeswoman Kim Izaza said Tuesday in a statement. Do you guys need me to give y'all her charges again? Let me give that to y'all again. Homicide by vehicle, armed robbery, hijacking a motor vehicle, hit and run, aggravated assault, and possessing a firearm during the commission of a felony. Man. So here we go. She's right here. She's age 45. And she's out of Fresno, Texas. So damn it, man. Texas, we done did it again. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm a Texas resident, but this is some bull crap. I'm not happy to report this story, but I have to be fair, right? And she's been scheduled to go on trial October 15th, which is here in 3 days, in connection with a bizarre string of events that began shortly after 5 a.m. May 11th of 2016 in Cobb County and ended later that morning in front of a Majestic diner in Atlanta. Now, according to prosecutors, Nesby first approached the owner of a cleaning company as he finished his morning routine at a Smyrna business, produced a handgun, and ordered the man to the ground and demanded his wallet and car keys. That's why I believe in staying strapped. Guys, it don't matter whether it's a man whether it's a woman, whether it's a whatever, get your license to carry, take your test, get proficient, go to the range, carry your damn weapon. Right? This is another example of that, why you guys need to really, believe in your Second Amendment rights. She was later spotted driving at a high rate of speed down I-575, where she hit a vehicle without stopping, and then traveled up the wrong direction of the southbound exit ramp and struck a second vehicle, also without stopping. Shortly after 6 a.m., Nesby drove off the roadway and onto a sidewalk on Cobb Parkway near Bales Ferry Road, where she hit a pedestrian, and that 71-year-old woman's name, God rest her soul, Lucy Turner is her name. And I'm going to tell you guys this. You'll see her picture in the video in just a little bit, but I'll say this, and I mean no disrespect to her and her family. At least she got a chance to live out pretty much a full life, and she had more to go, but she at least did get a chance to see a lot of life at age 71. So, that's a little bit of a positive thing in this story. Now, Turner, who eventually died from her injuries, was walking from her job at Burger King at the time of the She was walking home from her job at Burger King at the time of the crash. I have a little bit of an issue with that. Number one, when people talk about this white privilege thing, I want you guys to tell that when people are talking about this Kanye West thing and all of this kind of good stuff, tell that to the white people and to the families of Lucy Turner, age 71, who was not able to retire at age 71, had to walk from work at age 71, and did not have a car, and she worked at Burger King at age 71. If you have a pen, take a pen, put it in that part of the story. We'll address it some other time. My goodness. Anyway, let's keep going. The crime spree spilled over from Cobb County to Fulton County after Nesby carjacked a vehicle on Bales Ferry Road. I'm sorry, I keep saying that wrong. And she sped down I-75, and she hijacked a second vehicle and robbed another woman of her cell phone at gunpoint. Does she still need a car? No, Chaz. That woman was the one that got that was the hit and run victim. That was the hit and run victim. The 71-year-old, that's a tongue twister. I'm sorry. The 71-year-old woman was the hit and run victim of that person right there on my screen. So no, she is posthumous. She is dead because of her. All right, let's keep going. Now, while driving to Atlanta, Nesby called 911 and told the operator that she would take a hostage and then kill both the hostage and herself unless police chased her with blue lights and stopped her, Izaza said. She said someone had put something in the air that was affecting her organs, and she also stated that the employee of a fast food restaurant had put something in her drink the night before that was causing her to hallucinate and commit these crimes. Rewind. Let's say that again. She said someone had put something in the air that was affecting her organs. She also stated that an employee of a fast food restaurant, if you guys want to know why the Chick-fil-A sign keeps popping up on the screen, that's because she said someone at Chick-fil-A spiked her drink. What a story to tell. She said someone at Chick-fil-A spiked her drink the night before that was causing her to hallucinate and commit these crimes. Guys, let's keep going. So before officers arrested her in Atlanta, prosecutors say that Nesby crashed into numerous vehicles on North Avenue in Atlanta, went off the roadway, hit a landscape that immobilized the vehicle she was driving, which is the picture that you guys saw, and attempted but failed to hijack another vehicle. Investigators found that she was armed with two handguns throughout her crime spree. Nesby's blood tested negative for any drugs and alcohol. That's the car. One of them. I'm going to say that again. Nesby's blood was tested negative for any drugs and alcohol, even though she claimed somebody spiked her drink the night before. Just, man, you know, I hate to be so cliche, but you can't make this shit up. You really can't. Defense attorneys and prosecutors asked the court to find Nesby mentally ill. Right. Because she couldn't possibly be accountable for all the crazy shit that she did, right? Couldn't possibly be held responsible. But we wonder why. You guys know the narrative. I'm not going to say it right now. I don't want to get my channel flagged. I don't want to get flagged by YouTube or these dickheads out here to keep flagging my channel. Let's keep going. Cobb Superior Court Judge Stephen Schuster agreed to requested findings and accepted Nesby's plea of guilty. Okay? Now, Nesby will receive mental health treatment in prison as well as credit for the time she served since her arrest, Izaza said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a little bit more detail. Again, she said someone spiked her drink at a Chick-fil-A. Ooh, wait. So here we go. She allegedly robbed a cleaners in Smyrna and then drove into a 71-year-old woman that was walking on the sidewalk on Cobb Parkway without stopping. That was the woman that was 71 years old and the one woman that was working at Burger King at age 71 years old. And again, her name was Lucy Turner. Okay? So I think that's the majority of that. She's got another court date coming up here in 3 days. So if you guys want to follow that story, make sure and look it up. But I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of that court story. So before I show you guys the rest of the video, let me give you guys the fair usage and we'll go ahead and get started with the first video. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I'm going to cut this little part out. Let me give a shout out real quick to 2 people that donated because I know sometimes it's late. You guys might not be able to stay here the whole time. So I want to go, this will be my last time in the chat. Why is this going to be your last time in the chat? MG Tyrell, what did I do something wrong? Got to let me know. Communication is key. So again, shout out to Yvonne Y. Chevelle. Hey, Chevelle donated to the show. So let me say thank you to Chevelle, who's in the chat. And I think this is, hold on. I know who this is. K-Man. K-Man is in the chat. So thank you to K-Man. And also thank you to Chevelle as well as Yvonne Y. The people that donated to the show. Man, big prayer hands up. Thank you guys so much. So here we go. I'm going to cut that part out. So here's the video. Let's get it in.
Suspect accused in a deadly crime spree made an outburst in court when she went before a judge. Investigators say the woman ran over and killed a pedestrian before carjacking several people. Channel 2's Ross Cabot live in Marietta with the explanation the suspect gave the judge in court today.
This was a very bizarre chapter in what was a tragic day here last month. A 71-year-old woman walking right where I'm standing was hit and killed by a car that prosecutors say was an intentional act of murder and part of a one-woman crime spree through 2 counties. That 43-year-old woman says it all started with a late-night visit to a Chick-fil-A.
I am going to hold her without bond at this juncture.
Somebody put something in my drink.
When the judge told Kristie Nesby she'd have to stay in jail, Nesby felt compelled to plead her case.
They're trying to kill me in here. They said it, they threatened me. They're going to kill me in here.
Nesby's lawyer told the judge he'd asked her not to speak. Later he told me he wasn't really sure what all she was trying to say. But Nesby clearly blames a spiked drink for her bizarre actions. It started last month with a robbery at this South Cobb Drive business, then allegedly intentionally running down and killing 71-year-old Lucy Turner along Cobb Parkway, before carjacking 2 women and crashing one of the stolen cars in Atlanta. Prosecutors say Nesby called 911 during the crime spree, admitting to what she'd done and seemingly wanting to stop.
She said that she planned on turning herself in and hoped that she would begin to be arrested so that she didn't hurt any more people.
But she didn't stop. The judge ordered a medical evaluation of Nesby. Toxicology results are still pending. But the 43-year-old woman with no kids and no criminal record clearly blames a spiked drink for all that happened.
I wouldn't do this in my right mind. I went to Chick-fil-A. I told someone put something in my drink.
Well, her attorney would not really clarify what exactly she was saying happened at that Chick-fil-A or who may have spiked her drink or anything. She's going to be held without bond. And one big clue in this case as to what's going on with her is toxicology results from her blood test taken that day. And those results are not yet in. We are live in Cobb County. Ross Cabot, Channel 2 Action News.
This is what I want to point out, guys. This is what I want to point out. When we talk about women wanting to be equal and being held to higher standards and being held to the same standard as men, there's one thing I want to call out right here. How can anybody on God's green earth listen to this woman say what she said, talking about somebody spiked her drink, said she was high and she was drunk. She was hallucinating. Like, I guess I'm kind of confused. Like, why would they even entertain that? Well, she might be crazy. We're going to give her a mental evaluation. Maybe that's part of the court proceedings. I don't know. But personally, I'm just like, lock her up, throw away the key. She's a criminal. She killed someone. That's murder to me. She carjacked people. She held a gun in people's face. You guys know if I took my gun and just showed it on my hip and just showed someone I had a gun, do you guys know that I could be arrested and potentially do jail time? How many of you guys knew that? The wrong scenario at the wrong time, doing the wrong thing, I could potentially be in trouble just for doing that. She pulled out 2 guns, not one, but she had 2, held them in the face of people, threatened to kill people, actually did run over and hit someone, stole money, stole cars, wrecked cars, damaged property. Why in the hell should anybody pay attention to anything she's got to say? Like I said, maybe that's part of the court proceedings. I don't know. I want you guys to listen to this crazy broad. I don't know if y'all going to be able to hear this very good. But like I said, I personally don't think 20 years is nearly enough. When you can give somebody 160 years for having sex with somebody that's not of age. You can't even do 160 years. It's not even possible to do 160 years. But somebody that goes to work, pays their taxes, they're senior citizens going to work, somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother, and probably somebody's great-grandmother at age 71 is going home from being a law-abiding citizen, and you are engaged in criminal acts. You take a car and run this woman over and she dies. Dead. Now that's going to cost her family money. They have lost a loved one. People have now lost their peace of mind. They've had a gun in their face. They've been traumatized. They've been robbed. People have almost, 2 other people were hit as she was committing these crimes. And I'm not trying to say one is better or less worse or more worse than the other. I'm just saying that 20 years to me doesn't make sense to go above and beyond to do all of this stuff that she did. And on top of that, she committed perjury in court by lying. She said I was intoxicated. I think people might have understood if they might have found some type of alcohol or some type of pills in her system. But guess what? The toxicology report reported she had 0 pills in her system. She had 0 alcohol in her system. She has 0 children that have came out of her body. Thank Jesus. 0, 0, 0. She committed murder. Dead. 20 years? And could, thank you, somebody posted it in the chat, could be out. If she did her full sentence, she'd have to only do 85% of her sentence. And be right back out terrorizing. Jail is not a rehabilitation thing. It doesn't rehab you. I think jail reinforces being a criminal. It's not to rehab you. Maybe you don't want to be there anymore. Maybe if it just fucked your head up enough, maybe you don't want to be there anymore or whatever. But people in jail, people that have been in jail, people that study jail, even people that are COs, correctional officers, will also tell you that that place does not correct people. Jail does not correct people. Tommy brought this up earlier. This is something I talk about all the time. The school to prison pipeline. We are building more prisons than we are schools. Non-violent offenders, people that are smoking weed, get caught with a gram of weed or whatever the case is, are doing decades in jail over something that is natural, that grows out of the ground, that has now become legal in the majority of the states. Think about that. There are people that have gotten more time for smoking weed, having weed, and committed no violent offenses at all. But we let this queen get off that easy. My question is why. Listen to this.
Currently, I don't feel safe in the jail right now. I think with the sensitivity of the case and the nature, with the media coverage, I should be in some sort of secure housing. Right now, I'm in an infirmary where there's male and female inmates housed in, and it's kind of open space a little bit. With this particular case, it would be cruel and unusual punishment to house me any other way. I know I have a constitutional right to have proper and secure housing.
We'll make sure that the jail staff takes care of your needs, and we'll make sure that you are safe in the housing that you have. Let me ask, do you understand the charges you're facing in this first warrant?
I understand the charges as well. I'm getting a lot of attention from some inmates as well as staff asking me about the case and asking me questions.
You're under no obligation to make any statements to anyone concerning the case, and we will make sure that you have the opportunity to get counsel. You can either hire an attorney to represent you or have family members or friends do so, or we can put you on the list to be interviewed by the Circuit Defender's Office to see if you qualify for court-appointed counsel. Would you like to be put on that list?
I have some things that I'm working on with that at this particular point, but that's one of the reasons why I have to put in secure housing as well.
Again, the jail will make sure that the staff of the jail will make sure that you are secure and that there are no safety concerns for you. Did you wish for me to read this particular warrant out loud in court? It's up to you. Did you want me to read it out loud, or did you want to review it on a copy?
I'll review it on a copy.
Okay. Do you already have copies of the 2 warrants?
I have them able to the COs. I'm not sure what they it with them.
Can you just make sure she gets copies, new copies of the 2 warrants, please?
Yeah.
All right. And you have a second warrant that charges you with felony murder, aggravated assault with a weapon, homicide, vehicle first degree, hit and run foul, reckless drive, and failure to maintain lane, last 2 being misdemeanors. Did you understand those charges?
Yes, I believe I received those as well.
And we'll make sure you have another copy of this warrant. Now, your bond was denied for these 2 warrants under Georgia law due to the felony murder charge, the armed robbery with a weapon charge. You will have a hearing in front of a superior court judge to determine bond. Your bond hearing has been scheduled for May 31st at 1 in the afternoon. And again, either let the jail know if you wish to be interviewed for court-appointed counsel or make arrangements to have an attorney represent you, but you will have an attorney representing you at the hearing. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
So if you guys didn't catch that, she's going to have a court-appointed attorney. She's not getting a bond.
And did you have any questions concerning the rights that were explained to you in the video that you saw?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and then again, did you have any other questions concerning your case?
That is all.
Everyone, you can have a seat. Thank you so much.
Man. Well, she is going to play that victim role to the fullest, and I don't understand that. Like I said, I mean, for somebody to be that damn desperate that you could put that many people's lives on the line for what? I know it sounds crazy, but the shit is just outright wrong, right? It's just outright wrong. I'm against it. I think it sucks. Again, like I said, man, you know, I don't understand how somebody that does this much stuff, how is that not like a life sentence? That's murder on top of property destruction, on top of brandishing a gun, a weapon in multiple people's faces, robbery, 6 different damn charges. Like I said, man, you know, I personally think that, you know, she should have gotten, you know, life without parole, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section when you guys go back and rewatch the video. Again, she's going to get 20 years for all of the stuff that she did. And I just think that's bullcrap. Like I said, we've seen people that have done, you know, things that are bad that have gotten 3 and 4 and 10 times as much time as she did. But the only difference was the fact that they were men. She's a woman. I don't see that being fair. I think it's bullcrap. And, you know, RIP to the 71-year-old lady's family. I don't know if you guys are going to end up watching this video. If you do, a lot of people have contacted me by way of my social media after they see the videos that I've done. Just want you guys to understand, when you watch this, I'm speaking on the fact that I want our community to get better, and I want us to stop doing bullshit, and I want us to, you know, be held accountable, because we as black people should hold ourselves accountable for the things that we do in our community, so that way the rest of the world